Camera is rolling. Hi guys! We are back with week number 5 of The Artist's Way. This has been a wild week. A wild week in every sense of the word wild. I want to get into why. And I think the best way and sort of the whole vibe that I want to do for this video, just to hopefully encompass some of the feelings that I have felt this week and convey that in this video, is just to jump right in with a passage from the text, which is Finding the River. For 4 weeks now, we've been excavating our consciousness. We have seen how often we think negatively and fearfully, how frightening it has been for us to begin to believe that there might be a right place for us, that we could attain by listening to our creative voice and following its guidance. We have begun to hope, and we have feared that hope. The shift to spiritual dependency is a gradual one. We have been making this shift slowly and surely. With each day, we become more true to ourselves, more open to the positive. To our surprise, this seems to be working in our human relationships. We find we are able to tell more of our truth, hear more of other people's truth, and encompass a far more kindly attitude towards both. We are becoming less judgmental of ourselves and others. How is this possible? The morning pages, a flow of stream of consciousness, gradually loosens our hold on fixed opinions and short-sighted views. We see that our moods, views, and insights are transitory. We acquire a sense of movement, a current of change in our lives. This current, or river, is a flow of grace moving us to our right livelihood, companions, destiny. A river of consciousness. A river that contains fish in it, that is made up of greater consciousness. That sounds familiar. Where did we hear that before? Oh, yeah, in that other video. And all the times that I read this book by David Lynch, Catching the Big Fish, which revolves and is grounded in the idea of the existence of a river of consciousness in which fish flow, or ideas that are gifted to us. I mean, when I'm reading that, having this book in my room, rereading it, basing my films on it, and nurturing the practices within this book for years. And you already know how excited I am about The Artist's Way. And so I flipped to this page and it's like, Finding the River. I'm like, no. It's literally that. It's literally that. These things coincide in this beautiful union where they're really saying the same thing. And as we do the morning pages, we loosen ourselves to this movement that I'm not just feeling this way and whatever. Oh no, that's just this belief system that I've been holding on to, that I can kind of unscrew, and all of a sudden I'm loose again and I'm tapped into this flow of consciousness, and then I'm on a plane back from New York and boom, something hits me. And where did that come from? Oh, from that river, from that flow, from that stream of consciousness. And how wonderful is that? This is the word that I probably have used more times in this video series than any other word. Wonderful. Because of the word itself. I mean, I feel full of just wonder in those moments. And that is because a core idea from this book, which is that our ideas are not our own. It's not like, oh, I was on the plane and I had this idea. No, I got this idea. I was gifted this idea. I opened myself up and was able to receive this idea. That is wonderful. That inherently is full of wonder because it is an exploration. It's an exploration of unknown. You get this idea, you have this image of someone doing something and the light of it and how it sounds and all of a sudden it's there. It's there in its entirety, and and you have the option as an artist in that moment to say, okay, cool, and then continue to, eat your pretzels that they give you on the plane, or you have the option to write it down and to dive in, and then wait, what is this taste like, and what happens right afterwards? How did we get there? What does this actually really look like? You have the option to, as an artist, explore that if you open yourself up to the river. That is insane. That is insane. And as a blocked artist going through a healing process, there is nothing more exhilarating than the realization that we have the opportunity to do those things all the time. Seriously. Just hopefully hearing this in my voice is inspiring you. That's unbelievable that we as humans have the power to get those opportunities all the time. That's unbelievably wonderful. Truly. But this week hasn't just only been this flowery blossoms, wonderful, whatever. It's just been a wild week, and there's been a lot of self-reflection that I am self-destructive in a lot of ways. And that's a huge 180 probably. I don't know if I am going to be watching this video in a year and be like, oh, okay. This is this wonderful thing and this thing. And I'm super self-destructive. I might be watching this a year from now yep, we could tell. But that's a realization to me in the moment. And that is on literally the very next page from Finding the River, which is about the virtue trap. Which reads, an artist must have downtime, time to do nothing. Defending our right to such time takes courage, conviction, and resiliency. Such time, space, and quiet will strike our family and friends as a withdrawal from them. It is. For an artist, withdrawal is necessary. Without it, the artist in us feels vexed, angry, out of sorts. If such deprivation continues, our artist becomes sullen, depressed, hostile. We eventually become like cornered animals, snarling at our family and friends to leave us alone and stop making unreasonable demands. We are the ones making unreasonable demands. We expect our artist to be able to function without giving it what it needs to do so. An artist requires the upkeep of creative solitude. An artist requires the healing of time alone. Without this period of recharging, our artist becomes depleted. She then goes on later in the same section to say, we may even continue to produce creatively, but we are leaching blood from ourselves, vampirizing our souls. In short, we are on the treadmill of virtuous production, and we are caught. We are caught in the virtue trap. Vampirizing our souls. You could make a film on those 3 words. We're vampirizing our souls. What does that mean? I have not figured that out yet. But I can voice what it makes me feel like and what reading that makes me feel like. It just got me so heated, so upset. I think that was the first time that I really had to shut the book for a second and just breathe. Because dang, it got me. Let's be real. That that came for me on an extremely personal level that is really uncomfortable to embrace because, even you can just see this. It doesn't even really matter what I'm saying right now. You can just see it, like, in how I'm communicating. Like, I can feel this sort of, like, ickiness, like, just, like, rest over me. And where I was able to just, like, rattle things off before, I can, like, feel the uncomfortableness in my chest even just starting this. But because I pledged transparency and promised truth for no one but myself on this channel, I want to just get into this section, which just relates to the finding the river, how Julia Cameron says, we are able to tell more of our truth, hear more of other people's truth. Hear more of other people's truth too. Like, it's such a enjoyable and natural part of the way that I live my life to constantly make time for people, and to not do so sounds wrong. It really sounds wrong. It sounds rude. Like just straight up, it just sounds rude to be like, no, I can't talk to you as you're going through this, or I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna go out that night because I told myself I would write. That's in essence the idea of making time for yourself and staying true to that. Is essentially what she's talking about here, because if we've set that up and then something else arises from some external environmental factor, I fall into the virtue trap all the time. I mean, I don't know a time when I really am able to. I mean, I fell into it today multiple times, and it's just difficult because I have shame if I do, and I'm in a call, or I'm engaged in conversation, or I'm connecting with someone, but I'm like, I'm not fully here, and that feels shameful. I'm like, I can't fully give myself to this person because I'm thinking about this idea of, oh, well, I was just exploring this wonderful, I told myself I was going to dive into, and now I'm all of a sudden here, and so I'm not giving them 100% of me, and that feels like a disservice, and I have shame for that. But also, when I am like, no, I can't talk or connect or do whatever right now, that is just like, that's just not who I am. But see, but even just saying that it's not who I am. That's a belief system that I hold on to and have ingrained in my head for a long time. And I've only been able to dust that off. I mean, not even dust, get in there with a shovel, with a jackhammer, and peel through all the rock and uncover that belief system. I've only been able to do so through the morning pages, and realized, like, okay, this is not who I am. This is a belief system that I hold, that I base who I am off of. Those are two separate things, and that realization is important. But I just feel rude, and I don't like it at all. And when your job requires 10 plus hours from you, the moments that you have allocated to yourself become even more important. And this journey of trying to maintain the composure and power to say, no, I'm going to actually spend this time for myself, is a journey that will last longer than these 12 weeks. And it is through this book that I realized the need to do so. Not just because I want to go be an artist and move to a hut and never talk to anyone again. My family and friends are a constant, consistent blessing in my life. I truly believe that I've been blessed with the most wonderful, absolute people on this planet. Like, my family and friends are one of the main reasons why I'm able to do what I do. But this realization that I'm actually doing them a disservice by not spending any time for myself, and therefore not showing up for them when they want to connect with me, that is monumental. That realization is monumental. And I truly thank this book for that. And that's not just something, I said it in a video, and so, gonna do that change, and then I'm on to the next thing. That is a journey. That is a healing process that I am going to undergo, and that I'm committed to, and I've promised myself I will spend more time on myself. I'm like stumbling over the words, even just saying it to you. I promise to spend more time on myself. She talked about the censor in this book in the very beginning. And immediately I can hear the censor be like, you selfish. Man, that belief system is rooted deep. But I'm committed to being kind to myself and going through it. To be there not only for myself, but for the people in my life as well. The last thing I want to touch on in this video, I know this is a long one, but just about this river and opening myself up to this flow of consciousness has been illuminating for what I want to pursue. Just illuminating. And when I open myself up to that, things that before seemed distracting or rough suddenly become enlightening and vibrant. That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'll use New York City as a prime example. My girlfriend Gabriella currently lives in New York City, and the first time that I visited her, while it was an amazing trip, because I was brought into her just world of light and movement, the city itself felt overbearing. This overwhelming whirlpool of just things. And for someone who was extremely blocked, and what's more, not even really realizing that he was blocked, I was like, oh my God, that city is not for me. I can't do New York City. And there's a certain type of person that's New York City. And while all these things might be true, I didn't even explore the thought further. It was just, this is me. And because I'm this type of person, it doesn't align with me. And so, no, and I'm this, and I'm this, and this is the point of what I'm trying to communicate here. It's not about New York City. Your New York City might be anything to you. I'm just using New York City as an example. Going through this book and now, completing it through week 5 and entering into week 6, this flow, this stream of consciousness makes your moods and your ideas more transitory, so that you are not just your belief systems. You're a human being moving through life. And now, this last weekend, when I was in New York, which is the reason why I'm recording this on a Monday, all of a sudden, I explored a park, and going out to brunch holding her hand, the sky looked different. And experiencing someone belting their heart out in the subway was cool. And all these things that existed there before. It's not like New York City changed in like 4 weeks or 5 weeks. All these things existed, but I was just open to it more. Do you understand like what I'm trying to communicate to you? It's not about New York City. New York City can be anything. It can be anything. It's about you as a human being, not being so chiseled to this artifact of your belief systems that you've been raised on, and opening yourself up to the possibility that there is more. And all of a sudden, I'm approaching this Monday at the work. Alarm goes off at 6 a.m. and I'm going into to do my workout on the roof and then get into work for 10 hours. And I'm approaching this like, oh my God, I'm going to do this and maybe I'll learn this. And I have to have, a little bit of time to do some writing today, which I was able to slip in just for 15 minutes. And maybe I'll do this and whatever. And all of a sudden this day becomes this opportunity to fit in all these wonderful possibilities. And then my day became something wildly different than what I had thought. Oh, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do this. And that's okay. And then I'm like, I'm going to go record this video and spew all this out and communicate this energetically that can document. That's what I'm trying to say. That can document how this change is making me exist. This flow, this stream of consciousness, finding the river. It has not just been I get to do that script, or I want to be an actor. It is a new way to wake up in the morning. It's a new way that I'm eating food, that I'm looking at the sky, that I'm learning to love myself and others. It is a new way of life. And we're on week 6. I wonder if I'm watching this a year from now and you're like, just wait. Just wait. Well, I'm not gonna wait me a year from now. I'm going to experience it every moment. I am living in the moment right now. So who knows what's gonna happen next week or in week 7 or 8 or 9. I'm loving right now. I'm loving the moment. It is truly awesome and it feels endless in opportunity. Recovering a sense of possibility. Yeah, we're on that track. Okay, that's pretty much all for this week. I love you. Bye.